Good evening. A bit of some cloudy weather out there across the coastal bend on this evening. A warm one at that. Let's take a look at where we topped out for this afternoon. As expected, we hit 88 degrees, but that's a little bit above the average. We typically be at 85 on a day like today. Thankfully, 10 degrees under that record set back in 1964, 98 degrees. Could you imagine? It felt pretty close to that in a few areas here across the coastal bend because of that humidity. And then, of course, we're focusing on the sore spot of this almanac, the lack of rain that we've had here in the coastal bend. Corpus Christi International Airport now nearing 4 inches under where we need to be for this time of the year. We are in dire need of rain, and some places got a few sprinkles around the coastal bend this morning as showers passed to our north, but nothing officially at any of our reporting stations. Now we're left with some wind this evening. A wind advisory still in effect until 7 o'clock. As those winds have come down a bit, this should be allowed to expire, but it impacts all of the coastal counties here in the coastal bend except for Kennedy County. It's because we've had sustained winds on the order of 25 to 35 miles per hour, gusting to about 40 miles per hour or higher. And of course, that's made for some trouble out on the waters too. We have that higher risk of rip currents. So rip current statement out until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then the small craft advisory for the local bays and waterways, near shore and offshore waters going until 1 o'clock this morning. So not very friendly out there in the water, but hey, I can tell you from a first-hand experience, dipping my toe in at the beach this weekend, at least it's getting a little bit warmer on that water temperature there. But here's a look at the current sustained winds. So we're experiencing a 25-mile-an-hour wind from the southeast here at Corpus Christi International Airport, 25 at the Naval Air Station, 17 in Port A, and 22 in Robstown. So still fairly breezy, that same wind direction from the south-southeast, so we have extra humidity in the atmosphere. But more impressive than not, here's a look at the peak wind gusts we had this afternoon, 41 miles per hour. That's pretty breezy out there. I think tomorrow should be a little bit better, but it's still going to be breezy into the next couple of days. We have weather systems passing to the north of us, and so that change in pressure, that pressure gradient tightens, and we get that windy weather that we see. And it's a warm one out there, still in the 80s, though we are heading past the sunset hour. What's going on with the big weather picture? As I mentioned, these systems keep passing to our north, some tornado watches and severe weather in the plains to the north of us. So not much going on in here in Texas. We actually had a little bit of a disturbance that moved and fizzled as it approached the coastal bend last night, and that's the account for some of those sprinkles that we had this morning. Going on into tomorrow, there will still be some rain and thunderstorms expected across parts of central and north Texas, but it looks to skip to coastal bend. Our next best chance isn't going to be until later on this week, and at that, it is a very widely scattered chance. I'm not counting on much rain on Thursday, but it is in the forecast. We could see a vicinity thunderstorm here going on to Thursday, but what we'll definitely have is the heat. Here's a look at the next 7 days with those warm temperatures on tap. 90 for Thursday with a widely scattered chance of a thunderstorm, and heat indices this weekend, hot, hot, hot.